Welcome back,
Um,
ladies and gentlemen, into Kickout Commentary. We're one of your co-hosts, aka me, Hollywood, and my other co-host.
SPC Profit.
And granted, we've been on hiatus, just like One Piece.
This wasn't
Uh,
even a hiatus, man. This
it
was
was a time
we
skip.
became part timers. We
We
be,
became what we hated.
yeah, we became what we hated. But yeah, I am. A lot of it is well, not a lot of it. Pretty much all of it is pretty much on me. I ended up. I don't know if it was talked about in the last time we did this podcast or not, but we I started trade school around that time. And so Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. I was studying to do computer network support. And I I really needed to what's it called? I really needed to get that done. I wanted to really pass that course, get the certification, so I'm CompTIA A plus and Network Plus certified. And the course ended in January. So, I mean, in January, I had talked about wanting to come back and do this again with uh, Hollywood. And we would talk about it. We'd be like, oh, let's set up days. Let's do this, and that. And then
We set up the
I,
days, and then we just don't record.
we, we'd forget. We'd be like, all right, then we'll do it next week. And then it just has gotten to this point where
I just
we literally, it's April, WrestleMania season. And we did not cover any of the stuff, not the Royal Rumble. Well, I covered the Royal Rumble on social media, but then after that, I stopped covering stuff on social media. So we've been sorely lacking. But this year we wanted to bring you guys bigger and better stuff. Last year, after seeing the stats that we had gained from also not being that consistent last year, we did pretty good. So I definitely want to keep that up. I want to, for sure, do more on our YouTube channel. We have, YouTube channel. These videos are on there, just like they will be on, the other platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, all that type of stuff. But the actual this right here, like seeing us talk, will be on there. But we want to do other stuff like playing WWE 2K, other wrestling related stuff just on there. So we have plans for that. We have a lot of plans as we try to get back into this and doing this consistently,
just know,
every two
just
weeks.
just know we've been thinking about you guys, and thinking about how we can just build more on top of it.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, because
and
uh,
I would say I like some ideas that we have. You will see most of this content that we have planned. It's most likely all of it's going to be on YouTube. So if you feel like it, actually, if you're interested in watching and seeing our thought process on how we view the current regime of wrestling, just you wait.
yeah, we have like the podcast. I think just for time constraints, because I work part time, but Hollywood here has stuff he's
Obligation.
got going on. He has a lot of stuff going on. I have stuff going on. We all have lives. So, like we did last year, instead of weekly, this would be every 2 weeks to podcast, which then gives us time to also do that other stuff we talked about for YouTube, stuff that might require some editing, require some time being put into it. So we hope you guys definitely are ready for that. And you know, wrestling, especially WWE, has been in a very, very good space since the last time we talked on here, since September. I mean, we've had Survivor Series, we had
Yeah,
Royal
so,
Rumble, we've had
so
Elimination Chamber. I mean, we've had so much craziness go on just in WWE alone. AEW had gotten a deal with Max to have. Is it just Dynamite under?
I
I think it's
believe
just
I
Dynamite.
think it's just Dynamite, but I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like it could be more. Content collision's gonna be on there also. I could
And
check on it.
apparently, I don't know how true it is, but I had seen on social media that they're racking in like 1 point. 1 to 1.6 million views a week, which is beating actually Raw on Netflix. Which that is another thing. Raw officially became on Netflix in January, and I think it's
I
I
think
don't
it's
think it's
alright.
necessarily I don't think it's necessarily bad. I think that we kind of underestimated well, I think we overestimated like the quality in its sense. I think we were expecting like, oh man, it's gonna be exactly like Attitude Era. It's on Netflix, so there's gonna be a whole bunch of. There's been some kind of moments, but there hasn't been too much, and I kind of understand why. Because if you're then exposed too much to a certain thing, it's no longer then shocking. It's no longer such a big deal. So I already knew we weren't going to get f bombs every Monday Night Raw. We weren't going to get this, and that. But to have some of the things that we've had happen is pretty cool.
Huh. But I'll just check on Max. AEW. It has Collision and Dynamite on there. It's just like some. I think it's just past tapings that were shown on like TV. I think like a day later, just be put into it.
Okay, so that's cool. So that's how I can watch it because I don't have live TV. Um,
But I would
and
say,
that's my problem with SmackDown. I'm sorry, is that I can't really watch it because I don't have live TV.
my thing with Netflix is it's cool. Like obviously, yeah, everyone, I feel like majority of people, I don't know, some people knew that it was not gonna be like how it was during the Attitude or the ruthless aggression era. But I would say it's still like it still feels like a regular Raw. I feel like it didn't matter if it was on the USA Network or Fox, especially now. I feel like for Netflix, even though they're giving them more leeway for things they could do, I do think that them be on them be on Netflix and then put on the 2 hour time frame they have for Raw. I feel like that's like a little bit is like it's a little bit of stretch. 'Cause I mean, for the amount of raw talent they have, pun intended, um, on that show, they can extend to 3 hours. There is storylines that could keep on going, and they do have the
Yeah,
talent. They're just not going down
I
that
would.
route.
I would like to see a like how they used to do, and I think Triple H would definitely do it. Is having the like the pre, or I think they might actually have it. I don't know if they do or not, but just having like like the
Like a
pre talk
pre-show.
show, yeah, like the
Uh,
pre talk show type deals, like how we had Talking Smack, things like that. If we had that again, I think that is a way to continue to push and elevate superstars when they don't necessarily get the TV time, and to push even storylines, big storylines. Um, so I think if he had something like that, I mean, because we already have the press conferences, I think that's
that's already enough. I feel
you
like
know
cause
like that's
it built more of like a main stage area.
yeah.
Like showing like this is like considering not making this like a sport, still treating this as a sport, and whereas like the winners can answer any questions that the reporters might have.
The what was I gonna say? I don't know if it No, it didn't start last year. I don't believe so. It was this year. I mean, they were on and off working, but as of now, TNA and WWE have a contractual partnership where they are on both programming. So we have TNA stars sometimes on NXT, sometimes NXT stars are over there, sometimes the main roster. It's been pretty cool. I mean, the Hardy Boys returned not so long ago to defend their tag team titles against the NXT tag champions
Of course,
in NXT,
and then
things like that.
You have Core J and Tatum Paxley went to TNA to well yeah went to TNA challenge for the Women's Knockouts Championship. And
Yeah,
I believe Core J won, but
yeah.
then lost it.
I seen, and I don't really just like, but I seen that that what's it called that some people were just like complaining that what's her name? I think isn't it like
Jordan
Jordan something?
Jordan Grace.
Yeah, Jordan Grace. I knew that was kind of her name, but like Jordan Grace is the
Jordan Chase or Jordan Grace.
that
It's
they're
one
like,
yeah,
oh, why
Jordan.
is Triple H trying to push like a superstar like this when there's attractive superstars look like this? I'm like, why are we still
On
bringing
the notion of like attracting the into it.
attractiveness doesn't equal? skill, and I can respect Triple H for wanting to just stick to skill
Yeah,
over just looks all the
of course.
time.
'Cause
And
I would say prime example of that is yeah. I'm not gonna lie. No offense to anyone who find her as a as a like their favorite wrestler and all that. Prime example is Kelly. I would say
yeah, she wasn't that good.
as a wrestler, yeah, but like again, pretty face during that time. Boom.
Yeah, yeah. It was a interesting time that time. But on some further news, WWE recently, it was actually on SmackDown. I think it was Kevin Owens just announced that he has to get neck surgery. So his match that he was supposed to have with Randy Orton is now canceled, and he's expected to be out. I think they said for like 2 to 5 years, which is crazy. So
I would
it could mean that his career is possibly over.
possibly or at the same time, there's just
Hmm?
that's scheduled for
No,
because that's the
I'm doing my podcast. Doing my podcast. Oh, sorry,
uh,
Doctor.
uh,
Doctor Hollywood. Yeah,
Dr.
yeah.
Hollywood. That's a good one. Um, no, I would say for that one, it's like is that the schedule of recovery for it? 2 to 5 years.
I just seen that on Instagram. That's somebody had like a news article kind of site. They were saying that's 2 to 5 years or whatever.
I would say he
But I mean, I feel like if he just gets the surgery that like Edge or Daniel Bryan got, I mean,
think
if it's a similar injury to what they had, then he could be back sooner or something. I don't know.
true
And
because they just said there's no set time for when he's coming back or anything. It just
yeah,
said like out for indefinitely like how like with Bronson Reed, Tongaloa, and who else? I'm trying to think someone
no,
else.
but what's his name? Ray. I think he said Ray Phoenix. Is it Ray Phoenix?
Yeah, Ray Phoenix. He's a good wrestler.
Yeah, he came in and he showed like AEW misused him, which I kind of hate that word in the wrestling business. Misuse. It's just not everybody can be a star
I,
110% of the
I,
time, and
I would say
they
underutilized, and
yeah
that's good,
yeah like
and
under
that go for both
because
Raw.
when you say misuse,
WWE.
because sometimes some people just don't have it. No offense, it's just like not that they don't have it, but they aren't. They're
They,
not going to be what you want. Like Rusev in AEW also. Granted, AEW could have probably tried better with him, but I still feel like even if they would have tried, it's the not being the best on the mic. Okay, could give him a talking piece, giving him a manager, but still was his wrestling up to par. Not like Cesaro. Cesaro's a beast at wrestling, but
he get.
promos not the best.
I would
So
say it's the same for Ricochet, and
what
but
they say
same
he's been going pretty good now lately as a heel.
true. But I would say it's sometimes where um you gotta give like people a time, like at least if something not working, let them go with this route. Sometimes the regime just doesn't. They be like no and all that. They still have them as this one thing, and
Yeah,
and which I'm not gonna lie. I think the one thing I kind of dislike from Triple H is the constant uh if it didn't work like a couple times, we're gonna keep on trying to push it. I don't like that. I don't like that. 'Cause I feel like
yeah.
that's
I feel like
that pushback. It just shows that like oh the fans are not really feeling it, and
yeah,
it's showing like you're not listening. And like if you keep on doing more and more and more, it just shows that you're just forcing this onto someone. And
yeah.
I think
And I feel like he probably learned that just from Vince, like a business sense is like a lot of that stuff, yeah, he's a wrestler first, but as a writer, as a producer, as a businessman in the world of wrestling, he basically learned everything from Vince. So I could see, just shades of that because of that. Um, I definitely think he's not perfect. And that's
no,
why a lot of like Facebook groups stuff like that I'm a part of that they're kind of annoying is they spend like all day just trashing Tony Khan and trashing Triple H and just being like, oh, they're not doing good because of this and that. It's just like when you are the leading force behind these multi-million or billion-dollar companies, every decision you make is going to either bring in revenue or lose revenue. It's going to elevate it or break it down. It's stressful. So it's just like I think that they both are trying their best. I think in Tony Khan's case, he needed to grow he needed to grow a pair and be a boss more than trying to just
To
appeal to
be a
everybody.
friend.
Triple H has no problem with that. I think that he definitely he had to give more representation to other superstars of other ethnicities and things like that, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
no, I fully agree with it. I feel like right now, I think AEW's booking is more. See, I feel like it's more consistent in a way that's than comparable to WWE.
Yeah,
I
there's
and I would say even I feel like even now, I feel like for storylines they're both the same, and
mhm.
like
Or not. I
'kay,
still feel like WWE just because WWE just understands that it's entertainment first and foremost. So
true, but at the same time it's like yeah, I'm saying it's entertainment, but then like right now, I feel like every single storyline for WrestleMania is like half baked in a way. It doesn't feel like WrestleMania. Like the
yeah,
only one, like there's only maybe like
yeah,
three that feel like
yeah, like
WrestleMania.
Cena. I get what you're saying. Like Cena, Cody, that feels big. Honestly, I really was like Gunther versus Jay. I knew it was going to be a decent match, but I wasn't caring about it until that man basically killed Jimmy live on
Yeah,
TV. Then I
uh,
was like, all right, but that's fine though. Sometimes we just literally you need that. You just
you
literally
you
need.
need that. Hold up, you need that. But at the same time, it's like think about how many weeks was into that.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like it's a slow build up. We had like a month build up for WrestleMania, and granted, it was in Europe. Uh, but some of the matches were like some of the build up were just like, what's the point? Like another prime example was the Charlotte versus Tiffany, a dream match in the making, but the storyline just, eh.
I'm not gonna lie, man.
Like
CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman, man, they show that there's really levels to this shit, man. That whole
that
feud, and that whole thing, it's just it's a veteran, basically another veteran,
for
or
no
somewhat
no
of a
the
veteran in Seth Rollins. Like he's becoming that veteran,
it's like
and
no. I was like no. I'm not sorry. I didn't cut you off. I was like it's like it's Megastar versus Megastar versus Megastar,
yeah,
and which is like even though people might not consider Seth Rollins as a Megastar, I I feel like he's a name that could still draw in
oh yeah,
people.
for sure. The problem with him is that every time people wanted him to be champion, then when he became champion, they didn't want him to be
Be
champion because it
champion.
was always at either the other person's expense who they wanted to be champion, or it just wasn't the right time. Like, Seth Rollins a workhorse, he needs to be champion. Beat the Fiend. What the fuck?
Fuck.
It's like certain just things like that. I feel like he just can't win, but I do think that as like a locker room force,
He
as
is
a locker room leader, he that is what he is a locker room leader. And CM Punk is, I think it's almost like I think he's like the last soldier of like an old regime, but not agreeing with that old regime. But he's still
he
just like the last front line, the last soldier of what was once something that he helped establish, helped build. And then Roman Reigns is just Roman Reigns. This man has carried the company on his back for several years in a row with just back to back great feuds with so many great wrestlers. And then now, you got Paul Heyman in the mix. That's why I feel like when it just comes to it, like AEW has such great talent, such great wrestlers. Don't get me wrong.
but just
And
a
they're putting on,
story.
they're putting on these four and a half, 5-star matches, which is great. But the feeling when you get the goosebumps, when you get the chills, when you get the that from these promos and these confrontations and these episodes that WWE are putting on. Cody versus Cena. I would well, one, I didn't think that Cena was gonna go heel in his last run. I was fucking flipping out at work
Hey,
when I was watching that live. That
hey.
which happened at Elimination Chamber, and when I just tell you, it was all so crazy. But I love what he's doing. People want him to have a whole different theme song and do this. Now he's like, no, because
No,
that's what y'all want me
what
to
y'all
do.
do?
So
Yeah,
I'm going to continue doing what I want to do. I'm wearing the shit. I'm not running now down the ramp. I'm not doing.
I'm not dressing Stu no more. I'm legit just he legit. I like how he did also where He basically talked to the crowd where it's like you are like I don't like ya anymore and all that. Anywhere I did like he didn't address Cody at all because he's just like I they want me to address you.
You're like manipulated by them completely.
Yeah,
In a
and
sense, I think is what he's kind of like. He's like you're basically
you're just a puppet.
you're letting them dictate your career and your everything.
And that's why
He
he
was
said
like
like, who are
he said
you?
yeah, he said you had to put your gimmick on your neck to sell. I was like, bro, man's just like
He cooked him.
but
He cooked him.
but I think that was good though because it gave I think Triple H and the Nick Khan and those people in the back it gave them a view of can Cody really go toe to toe with the killers on that mic and can he really just stand and I think he did okay because he was able to kind of fire back some stuff and just be like
True,
and,
but think about this is like he also he technically used the crowd also to his advantage in that promo. Like
oh yeah.
like cheap lines. Like, oh, which one of us sold our soul to the rock? Oh, at least they didn't say you can't wrestle. At least they didn't say you can't wrestle to me. And I'm trying to remember one more.
No, but he made the whole dick joke. That one was funny. I wasn't expecting that
Yeah,
one. Man.
yeah. I'm like that's something I was saying. Like when he does things like that, it's like, all right, boom, it gives character.
It's letting the little Homelander out, and that's why I feel like in their match, the way how it should be produced is that like Cody just kind of throughout, like it's still wrestling, but like he just kind of low key starts doing some kind of like heel shit in it. Like
I'm,
he just starts putting a little extra oomph in his moves, where he goes for some
this is
kind of
something more devastating.
yeah,
More,
because he's just like, bro, like that's what I'm saying. His theme song is still perfect to keep if he turns heel because now he's built the kingdom. He doesn't want to lose that.
and
That's
he's not trying
Undertaker
to
has
burn.
called it himself. Undertaker's like, he said, y'all think he's a good face. He's like, let Cody Rhodes be a heel. He's like, let him
He's a
be a
good
heel
cook.
with everything he already has established. He's going to, like you say, he's going to cook, man. And but like I said, with wrestling is just in a great state, man. It's just competition. It's just all around competition. It was WWE just for so long, just smashing and even when they weren't doing the best, you were like, well, it's still better than the other stuff. But
And
now
and mind you,
TNA is doing good. Fucking AEW is doing good. AEW bought ROH, so we got like ROH still
wait,
kind of back, even though it's not really back
it doesn't
fully.
really hard there.
We
And
got
but
NWA, we got MLW, we got all these great promotions with great stars killing it.
also Lucha Underground. We also got
I
New.
thought Lucha Underground ended though.
Nah, it still goes.
Is it? I thought it for real ended because it's like a. It was more like an actual like scripted like it was more like each like there was actual like true like it was a whole storyline like dude got brought back to life from the death and stuff like that like their GM like it was some like they were trying a lot of stuff.
They did that a lot. They did a lot. I
Yeah, it was
was,
a lot of like true like storylines, but
but
and
I know
I think
there's still some Lucha promotions down. I know that.
well yeah well AAA CML I think is one. Damn, they Alberto Patron, man, he's kicked out from AAA. That man got nowhere to go now.
I mean, that's what happens. You suffer consequences, have actions. So,
In the wise words of Conquest, it's like no, stop.
yeah, I was to say.
Man said, "I wasn't given a name, just a mugshot." That's Alberto Patron, but no, I think though like like I said, the wrestling that we've gotten so far has just been top tier recently. In all these promotions, I try my best to keep up. Right now, WWE is like on European tour, so like Raw's been earlier in the day, and I could technically catch it, but I just haven't been. I work Friday nights, so
I
I
would say they're back. They're back in the states now.
they're back in states now.
Yeah,
So I try to keep up, but I mostly kind of just watch the highlights stuff like that. I want to get more like I wanted to start reacting again to
Yeah, it was
like
canceled.
oh my god moments and stuff like that again, and doing a lot of stuff for YouTube also with wrestling. Um, playing 2K25, I barely played that. I beat showcase mode and have not like touched it since.
Honestly, I'd be showcase.
And
Well,
I you know we got the freaking Bloodline edition, and I barely touched it. I'm trying to get immersed into the world of Sasuke Shadows, but the so we got plans with doing stuff with that with WWE 2K25, and so it's just like I said, wrestling right now is just in a cool spot. I mean, they were just AEW was just in Philadelphia for their Dynasty event on April 6th in Philly, and man, if I had a car, I had money. If I had a car though, I'd have went there last minute. If I'd have been in a janitor's closet or some shit, I'd have been in there chilling. Because I
also
haven't been to a wrestling event in so long,
you could.
but there's also all these
Also,
independent wrestling shows in Philly that come out, like Battleground Pro Wrestling or whatever.
also you could
They're
took
there.
took Amtrak and all that. Like you're kind of close to the train station. Although
Yeah, but
that's like,
spend all that on that, then the ticket, then getting in there,
I mean,
then watching it,
how
then
much
coming home,
how much would a ticket been like to Philly? Like maybe like 10, maybe 15.
maybe. Uh, well, the ticket to AEW show was like $20. That
So
shit, I
so
was
so
like,
that's what I'm saying. Is it would have been like,
well, it would have been a
not,
little more just because of the tax and all that.
yeah.
But
But I said probably at max just spend maybe like less than 100. I say that.
yeah,
Maybe because I'm saying like a round
maybe.
trip.
Yeah. No, but that'd be better to drive. So if they come back and I had more time to prepare for it, I'll tell our other friend Jordan and I'll go with him or something.
But I'm not gonna lie. Also, they I don't think that they should do another Europe tour for a bit of for WrestleMania.
You think they
Yeah,
should go to WrestleMania in Europe would be, bro? It could be 5 days. I feel like the crowd would still be lit.
true. I feel like if they go like for a couple of days, boom. I think like that'd be fun. Like get some new like chants like how they did with the Roman Reigns chant. What was another one they had like a special chant for? Oh, for Jacob Fatu. And there's one
Jacob
more.
Fatu is the guy, man. He
He
doesn't. I don't think
he
people
he's
truly
he
give
got
him
his WrestleMania
enough.
match though. He got his WrestleMania match against LA Knight. And I'm not gonna lie, LA Knight is not winning that against Jacob Fatu.
You don't think he's gonna win?
I don't think he's gonna win that. But also I got my dog Dirty Dom winning his the IC title.
It's the fact you called a man dirty. Don't. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa.
What you mean? Well,
No, oh no, that's for ain't that next year?
what are you talking about?
The 2 day SummerSlam, or is that this year?
It's this year.
That's
Is it?
this year.
Yeah, it's in New
Oh yeah,
Jersey.
yeah, it's gonna be in New Jersey. Yep, I'm looking at that right now. Shh, that's where we about to go to SummerSlam.
Yeah, it's at MetLife.
Yeah, I'm putting my information down now so we can get
But but
some
yeah, nah.
pre.
But I think that is also like where they're booking and where they want to keep on with the whole face versus heel. But like people are fine with doing like face versus face and heel versus heel. You don't need like a bad guy in like a story in most cases because sometimes legit people just have don't have
They, yeah, like they
there's no
sometimes can't hate sometimes the other person enough. Because if a villain's validated enough, you really can't hate him. It's hard.
yeah prime example is like Drew McIntyre. You know he's a villain. He was a villain. Could you really like say he's wrong for feeling how he's feeling? No,
Oh well, he's been crashing out lately. He's having mental
no.
breakdowns and
I mean
shit.
like when
I
he
know
was
you meant when he first became a heel. Yeah, he was validated.
it was like
Um,
it was from start to finish, and like now it was like with him and Damian Priest, it's just like eh. It's like you gotta understand that, like from Drew's point of view, is like it feels like he's been targeted by Damian Priest an ongoing where Damian Priest is just like, oh, I'm just doing like because of opportunity and all that. Like like in quick moment, like oh WrestleMania took your eyes was not on the ball. That's why I took the title. When we fought against each other, boom boom. You
Yeah.
because of your feud with Punk and all that, it led to that. Led to me winning. Oh, you won the Money in the Bank? Oh, cool and dandy. You try cashing your own personal issue led to that. Led you to lose that shit. Boom.
Yeah.
Royal Rumble. Oh, it's a free for all. What are you complaining about? Oh, Elimination Chamber. You took your eyes off the ball for again for a second. But
Hmm.
again, but then again though, it does feel it feels targeting.
I like that Drew was like CM Punk was like telling Drew to keep doing it. Like when he was throwing Seth Rollins into the pot, he's like,
Like,
harder,
yeah,
harder.
again, again, again.
Come on, you can do better than that. Bianca Belair was selling the fuck out of Jade's return. Bianca
True.
was like her paycheck relied on that performance.
Yeah,
She
she was making sure she was like, I want to go WrestleMania.
yeah.
Not,
Which
I
is
got
it's her versus Io, right?
her versus Io versus Rhea Ripley.
Okay, so we're gonna of course you're gonna.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I
the
mean,
booking.
I would have preferred Bianca just versus Rhea just because of the two powerhouses, but at the same time, Io's super talented, so I think it'd have gone either way.
I feel
Um,
like I feel like
but
you need like Rhea Ripley's name a part of it, but at the same time, it was like for how they went about it, like from start to finish, where like Rhea Ripley after Elimination Chamber, Rhea Ripley fought against Io, she lost. Cool and dandy. It was already set in stone, like oh, Io Sky versus Bianca then at Mania. Little by little, it's just then like Rhea Ripley, just instant, just being like it's kind of like she was low-key crashing out, and where she was like she was gonna be the villain, but it was just like how the Europe tour everyone loves Rhea Ripley. It just like no one could really peep what she was saying. She was like, oh, I just find it why like Bianca, why were you in my business and all that? Why were you outside? Which is like what? Why wouldn't no like if you actually think about it, why wouldn't the number one contender for that title belt not be out there present to see who they're gonna face on some like on some real like competitive type shit. So that's why I feel like that was like all right. I can see why it was not needed, but it's understandable why you think like she was a part of it. But then boom, every single time just like took the contract that the original contract where Io and Bianca were supposed to sign, took them out and then signed your own name. That's low key childish. And
I
which
like
good to you go.
no, I was just gonna say was I like that like I said like Kevin Owens. I was just thinking about this how Kevin Owens has always been like the king of continuity. That man just come out of nowhere in a promo and be like, "Weren't you guys just beefing like last month? Like, what are y'all doing being friends?" Like he just cracks me up because he's like Elias is Ezekiel.
Still,
Am I the only like shit used to crack me up like with that stuff because he just be crashing up.
I still remember when where legit he was playing against Cody, and legit he was like, "Hi Randy, hi Randall. I hope you're enjoying this at home and all that." And I'm just like, yeah, I'm
No,
like,
it's crazy though because yeah, I don't know who they're gonna who they're gonna have fight Randy.
it's gonna be either Nick Aldis or a returning either Rusev or a
Nick
Aleister Black.
Aldis would be cool because Nick Aldis hasn't wrestled, and so to get, I mean, he's gonna be rusty, so Randy's gonna have to kind of carry that match a
I mean,
bit. But
he still worked out and all that, and
well,
like,
working out and actually having
I
the,
mean, he still goes to the performance center and all that.
so maybe he's found. It'd be it'd be crazy if R-Truth's just like, I'll fight you, Randy. It's just R-Truth.
R2 comes out first, and it does RKO. Randy's just like, is there anyone else?
Yeah, he beats him like real fast, like RKO's. Like he's like, no, I don't want to fight you, and just like boom, quick RKO beats him, and then he's like, really? That's how I'm. me, Randy Orton is gonna have his WrestleMania, and then like Nick Aldis comes out, he's like, bro, he said you hit me with two RKO's. He said, and then it'd be funny. Randy be like, I mean, I gave you the check for it,
That's true. That's a callback though. And we're like, oh, the fine. And we're like, and Randy was like, I gave you 100,000. No, wait, not 10,000. Because 5,000 for the RKO, which is crazy though. I'm not gonna lie, 5,000 for an RKO for a fine,
bro.
insane.
Bro is the supposed to be the authority figure of the show, and you just fucking planted his head into the ground. What do you mean? That's
5K though.
5Ks. It's not. That's bro. That's not even that much of a fine.
I don't
Chair
know.
shot to the head's 50,000.
That's true. That's also true. But nah, like I said, I feel like just the booking for some of the female superstars, it's just like
Been weird a little bit. Yeah.
been weird. Like, because again, like I don't think I understand Rhea Ripley need to be part. Well, she had to be part of the match. It's just the way how they did like the booking and everything. It was like even with Bianca, was her guest referee, I was expecting like a double pin and all
What?
that. Where like
Mm,
where both shoulders are on the mat, and where it's like you don't know who's the winner and all that. And then that would have been like the closing off
yeah.
for next week's show. And
Hmm.
then that would be like, all right, main triple threat match, in which everyone would have been fine with. Cause,
Yeah.
but but if you're doing like, but if all, I'm not gonna lie, all I'm really thinking about this now. Bianca was the referee. She got hit multiple times by both Rhea and Io. And for the first one, she got a boot to the face. Rhea Ripley saw her, and then legit start did her full finisher on Io, and then pinned her, acting like where's Bianca's at, and like being like coming to the ring and all that, like she didn't hit her.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, it's just that booking to me is still it's just like
But my thing is like just like I said, I don't know. I'm just happy wrestling's in.
it literally is in a good place. And but I like the part like we're in good place, but we still like criticize leave some decisions.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like like for
I
instance,
mean,
like
one
I
of
was
my
at like
dreams is that I don't know if I would ever make it a full fledged company. It would be awesome if I could, but if I could just put on one show, would be cool. Just say like
I did
I
that.
had my own wrestling company and I put together one show. Because I also wouldn't want it to be super duper duper big. Because then it's all the politics. I gotta add so many people that don't know shit about wrestling. I just did like a local show that people can just come watch somebody get beat with a chain or something like that. Just like just be fun. Because my thing would be extreme. You'd be not straight
Uh,
up hardcore like
not
wrestling like what
not
the
like
fucking John Moxley does on a weekly basis.
I'll
Like
say not like AEW, but like most likely like ECW.
yeah, like it would be, but I like I said, I want to try to kind of do like what Triple H does in the sense of where it's like I'm gonna give you bits and pieces of like craziness because then if you're used to seeing every single show somebody get thrown through a flaming table or some shit, you're not gonna give a fuck after a while. So like when I some shit happens, like there'll be constant, there's gonna be constant extreme moments, but it's not gonna always be so much blood. It's not gonna be so much this and that. It's not gonna be this and that because then once you get to the nitty gritty and the times when it's most important, that's when it's gonna hit better.
True. I feel like
I mean,
I'll probably take I would say I'll probably take the Triple H approach, but I'll add like the aspect of like New Japan Pro Wrestling, like in ring, like
shh,
just the in ring of like storytelling, where it's like just hard hitting like kind of moves and like
yeah, strong style company.
like was it strong having a strong style, but still having that like emotional impact with that storyline. And like with
Yeah,
the hard, also like for the iconic like moments, like I'll do it like Triple H. but I'll at least like a little bit show like add like more like give like breadcrumbs here or then.
Give me a second. Dog. Continue talking. Dog
But
just shat on the floor a bit.
oof. All right, so yeah, let me go
Doing this
more.
live, folks. Fucking dog shit on the floor.
More with this booking. Uh, work on say the tag teams on
What's up?
championships. They're now on WrestleMania except the female, in which they're doing this whole gauntlet match now for they could have like just to have Liv Morgan and for Kel to do something, and which feels kind of criminal. What's another one? Tiffany for Charlotte, and where it's like people are going back and forth how like Charlotte went off script when they went like where they were like the digital face to face, but then people are complaining how Tiffany had to go low blow, but they had to mention where had Tiffany had to mention Charlotte the voice and all that
Oh,
like
that's brutal.
and
But sometimes it's needed though. You gotta
it's
go.
needed, but
It's needed. You gotta have somebody you like and somebody you hate in it, and
but
that's
but then look crazy part is after Tiffany said something about like going zero like going 0-3 for marriage and all that, and like we're just doing the woo. Charlotte one day I want to talk about it. Oh, why was Kaiser in my DMs? Like trying to do like a shoot and all that. Try and
But
get like
damn, wait a minute. So you're telling me Charlotte's been married 3 times?
yeah,
Damn, clearly she's the problem.
and,
Shit. All right. Yes.
and that's why Tiffany like mentioned how she's just like her father like with a multiple film marriage and all that blah blah
Well, that's crazy.
blah.
She said, "Why Kaiser in my DMs though, leaving heart emojis."
No,
Yes.
but everyone knows like Kaiser's not like that. I think someone made a post saying this.
Well, we
It
don't know that.
no, cause someone said this. Oh, it's crazy how they that this man got accused of cheating, but no one believes it.
They're like, there's no way they're like, it's already a mystery how he pulled
Like,
Tiffany. There's no way he'd get Charlotte. It's
yeah,
like, hey, you'd
yeah,
be surprised though, man. I mean, they're constantly around each other, flirting and all that stuff like that. Shit happens.
true. But
Yeah,
what else? I was like, I do like how Tiffany and I said Tiffany, Naomi and Jade Cargill are having a match at WrestleMania. That's gonna be
did
interesting.
they, so was it true that Naomi did attack?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was true. Um,
I found sugar-free ones, so I'm so fucking happy.
they're sugar-free ones.
Yeah, sugar-free. I know. I found out today. Instantly bought them. I was like, fuck yeah.
Hey. But I feel like for that match, it should be on like a no holds bars match. I know,
No horse barred match.
no holds bars, no bars. See, I was saying I was talking to someone about that. There was
Balcony.
balcony.
Yeah.
Uh, people not gonna understand that, but that's fine as shit. Uh, but anyways, yeah, I feel like for this WrestleMania, like it just doesn't feel like a WrestleMania. It feels, I think, to me personally, it feels like a fast lane.
Mm, that's a hot take.
Not,
But I
I,
kind of get what you're saying though. Like half the matches do feel like kind of underdeveloped, and good would think it'd been a little better as WrestleMania. It was basically like
it's 11 days.
almost in May.
It's like
Like
11
it.
days away. Like I
Yeah.
think 11 or 10.
Well, no, I was gonna say is that WrestleMania, was later on this year than it was last year. Like, last year it was like April, 3rd or some shit.
Yeah, but even so, that's just like it's just still just kind of crazy. And like I'll even say this even now, like even the Hall of Fame roster, like for this year, some of it is just you can obviously Triple H, yes, obviously Lex Luthor, I said Lex Luthor.
Lex Luger got
I
put in there?
know. I said Lex Luthor. Lex Luger, or I forget. I know it's Lex something. It's been a
No,
minute.
the Steiner brothers were last year.
Yeah.
No, it was the Haku and whatever I think
No,
is
no,
their team.
no. It's also Lex. Legit, 'cause I remember Cody Rhodes they did a whole video on SmackDown
No,
where he went and all that and like he like
I'm recording.
said hi
I'm
to them.
recording. I'm just,
He said hi to them and all that and told him like how he's gonna be inducted into the class of 2025.
let me see this here. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up right now and see
It,
who's
it was on
in the
YouTube.
class.
It was on
Yeah, the class
YouTube.
of WWE.
But apparently they was just showing on Stone Cold and Bret Hart like match, which is like
Meow,
kind of weird.
meow. Let me see so far. Wait a minute. Yes, yeah, Lex Luger, Michelle McCool, Triple H. I think that's it so far.
There should be, no, there's like two more.
Oh well, I don't see anything. This was by WWE itself. Let me see. Yeah, Lex Luger, Paul, Triple H, Levette,
Nah, cause they
and
should.
other inductees to be announced. So they still haven't even announced everybody yet. Okay,
Mm,
because
but
because everybody just made their own like predictions or whatever. But it just shows the only three consistent I'm seeing is
Triple H, Michelle, and Lex.
yeah, yeah. Now, if they are doing like matches that are now being put, I think that's actually really fucking cool because even like the UFC does that, like in their Hall of Fame, where it's not just fighters being inducted, it's actual matches, which is
But
cool. And I think wrestling needs that, so that's cool. Sh- Bret Hart versus Stone Cold, if that's the case. That didn't make Stone Cold, but that like solidified Stone
so I
Cold
mean,
as a badass.
I say it solidified him as a like as a megastar, just for the
Yeah,
sense of like,
he
um,
didn't. He passed
cadence.
out.
Yeah,
He didn't tap.
and I'm not gonna lie, that Loki pissed me off with the Bailey versus Valkyria match on Raw. How Bailey gave a submission, realizing that she was not gonna tap, and try to go for like a pin, like trying to do a finisher for a pin, and then Bailey gets like rolled up. I think that to me it was just like I understand why you hesitated and thinking like, oh, I could use this, but if they're ready a submission, make them pass out. It's for the belt.
Hmm.
They don't need to tap. That you're making them show them already if they're already not gonna tap.
Yeah, and that's what I like. That's why I like that. And what made it better was that I think what solidified the moment even better, and why I think it is now like in the Hall of Fame or whatever, is that in a submission match there is disqualifications, but yet Bret Hart hit Stone Cold with the bell, whatever like that, and so not only does this man not tap out, he's face all
It's
bloody, and just it was just a like a
there's a group.
crazy sight, like a badass sight, just blood gushing. And he's like, nah, nah, and just passes out, and then Brett doing heel stuff, like yelling at the fans and doing all this, like literally characters switching in the middle of the match, which only that's been done a couple of times. I got Berto de Rio versus Dolph Ziggler.
That was a good
Um,
one, man.
that was a
Yes,
good one.
I would say Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels is already both times is considered a classic.
Those matches were, those matches were something else, man.
Mankind versus
Mm.
Undertaker. John Cena versus CM Punk.
Which is
Uh,
so crazy that CM Punk and John Cena were honestly they're able to work really well together. Um, like when they first wrestled, I think it was like in 2010, back when CM Punk still had the long hair and the beard. He was still like in the I was gonna say secret society.
secret.
The what was it called?
uh,
The something
uh,
society, straightish society, straightish society.
Trash.
I was about to say the sobriety society, and I was like, that's not it. That's not it either. I know it's something to do with like not drinking and smoking, but
See, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one to.
yeah, but nah, but they put on some good matches, and I think it's because they kind of have like respect for each other, and I think like CM Punk had John Cena push himself.
I feel like it was also like the way how they work together and work in the sense of how um they can just rely on one another in the
Yeah,
sense of how like Todd Johnson always like takes the lead and everything. But I feel like when he was with Punk, they're able to actually like tell a story, be like, all right, boom, boom, boom. Cause
yeah. CM Punk said that he kind of took the lead, and Cena was just like, okay, like was just so down for it, and he wasn't expecting that from Cena at all. That Cena was just down, and that's why I think like Cena has buried talent, but I think that not necessarily Cena's even buried talent. It's
I think he wants people to take charge and like if you're actually like that passionate about the company, take go for it. But I think
well,
but I think that's also it's intimidation from John Cena. Cause think about like being like an upcoming star and then
yeah.
you get put with
Well,
this
I was gonna say
legend.
it's not him burying people. It's freaking it's the company. It's the people in charge. I mean, I think Cena for sure probably had some ideas and have had said that, oh, I think I should beat this person, and that's gone over. But at the end of the day, it is the management's choice.
True. I'll say and I like you mentioned Rusev in this podcast, like for this episode, like prime example, Rusev was very like hot during like 2010s, the whole Rusev day. That was like great momentum for him to be like a champion and all that. I think like a
He
world
wasn't.
champion, but he wasn't.
Everybody wanted him to be. Yeah. But I also get why he wasn't though, because like I said, not the best on the mic, this and that, and that was kind of like a goofy gimmick. It's like when you want somebody who's your champion, you kind of want like not such a serious gimmick, but something that isn't supposed to be a joke.
True, but then you got someone
Like
like,
you
but you got
see
Jim, but
our
yeah, I'll say yeah, or Truth now. But you think you had someone like Jinder Mahal, where it was like known to be a jobber for the longest, then to
oh
win
yeah,
the
but that was for the bag, and everybody knew that was for the bag.
true. But at the same time, though, it was like he was still considered a joke. Like no one considered him as a threat, and like I think the issue about that was also like how everyone I think the opponents that he was fed that it was caliber names and like them just losing, which would have been like it was supposed to give shock factor, but it did. But at the same time, it's just like
You
this
know
should
when I
never been
think
the
about
case.
it, I just thought about it, kind of a little off topic, but like, you know how many wrestlers should be like convicted of like serious crimes with half the shit they do in these storylines?
The Fiend
Like
especially.
Hangman Page set Swerve's house on fire. Randy Orton set like two houses on fire in his career. Triple H broke into Randy's house. Like people just fucking
AJ, Styles, LA Knight, uh, technically third Dominic Mysterio. He
they
does,
like they all
they all done
they've
shit,
all just they've all just done criminal
especially
activity.
John Cena.
John Cena's done some crazy shit, but I think what I like I just like I said, Dominic Mysterio is just so good at being an asshole that that they said he's literally the only heel to do a heel turn
Twice.
twice, and he's just like
He
I think he's no, but bro, I seen it, bro.
he's very good.
Why did fucking Braun break? He killed Carlito. Carlito's not
Oh
going to be
oh
at
oh
WrestleMania. He's
oh
dead.
oh
He's
with that
dead.
spear. Oh yeah.
He died right there on Raw. That was death.
But I would say Dominic Mysterio also hit a Canadian destroyer on Penta
Oof. Yeah. No,
and
Dominic is
and then hit the 619.
talented.
He's
Dominic
talented.
is talented. People don't for a guy who's around our age and wrestling, like that, like the lucha libre style, and not botching and this and that. Your dad being, Rey Mysterio, so he taught you just well. It's so cool. Just like see, no
But
man, yeah,
but I
Braun
think
Breaker, bro. He killed. See, there's something wrong with that man, bro. I don't know what type of steroids that man takes, but the dude literally flew a good.
He was like
5 feet,
5 feet in the
five
air.
feet, like in the air, like towards Carlito, speared him, flipped his body midair so that way he'd land safe, and then just like, bro, what are you're a super soldier? You're literally,
He's Broly.
bro.
No, he's Broly. The real life version of
And then
Broly.
went in there, right? He speared Dominic, which Dominic sold it well. Then the other dude, he kind of sold
Penta.
it weird. I think that was Penta. Penta kind of sold that a little weird. I ain't gonna lie to you, but and then he's just like he's like
I,
growling at fucking Penta and shit. I'm like, bro's like
I think
shirtless,
I think
fucking veins popping. I'm
I think
scared, bro.
I think Penta was selling. But I felt like he didn't see Braun like until like a very few seconds. Like
Last second, yeah.
yeah, like cause like Braun like he saw him and then he just started running. Where Penta like still like no vision of Braun just yet.
Yeah, Broad is a freak. Bro made the ring move by running the ropes. Yeah,
Yes,
I'm not wrestling you, bro. You're not like
I still feel bad for Speed. I'm not gonna lie.
Speed got decimated, bro.
But see, but I'm not gonna lie. It's also Finn Balor like he Loki talked down to Dom in a way without like without talking down to him. How he's trying to say like other people, say like Dom doesn't have the killer instinct, Dom doesn't have this, Dad doesn't have that, and Dom's just thinking back in his head. I'm just like, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio. I'm gonna say it right now, he's IC champion during WrestleMania, and that's gonna be a good title run. It's gonna be funny, but it's also gonna be a good. Cause he's gonna like show his skill
It's
throughout.
still crazy. Like I like though the WWE's taking more chances with putting together just random people and hoping it works. Like Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. That tag team was not supposed to work in a
No,
million years.
but it
RK
did.
bro, but it did. Judgment Day. Judgment
But
Day, not necessarily. It was when they added Carlito. I was like, why the fuck is Carlito part of this shit?
I,
That's not. And then now
I'll say even JD, cause JD was funny. I'm not gonna lie, with
JD is the guy who has to get thrown, who has to just get thrown around for
he,
to make the other person strong. That's literally his
no,
role designed
true.
to get thrown through a table every Tuesday.
I was like for how like every single time like Damien Priest saw JD, he was just like, oh,
You
why are you here? Why am I talking to you? Da, 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 da. Just anything.
now what cracked me up was when R-Truth, bro. R-Truth should have became a member because
He
R-Truth was
should have.
like
Cause
R-Truth
that
was
would have been peak.
hilarious.
I really would have been peak Judgment Day.
R-Truth was hilarious. He was just he's like, well, you guys should actually be more like R-Truth. He at least made us some money. It's just like
See, I'm not gonna lie. I
bro
was spec.
was selling counterfeit merch. He was bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Our truth deserves to be in the Hall of Fame just because he takes everything and just makes it work somehow. And it's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
he's not the
Oh,
best wrestler. He's not the best this and that. He just you give him something.
and
He
he would.
made Little Jimmy an invisible son or something like that work.
Bro, my thing is this. He made Brock Lesnar laugh and everything. And I'm like, if you can make Brock laugh, you can make it. I'm not gonna lie. I could put money on that. I bet you he can make The Undertaker laugh. Like, if Undertaker's is in character, I bet you he can make him laugh.
It'd be tough as shit, but I think he will
Bro,
because it's not even just a comedic time. It's just how like dumb he acts on purpose to like
yo,
he was just
imagine Archer trying to do the lights, being like, but accidentally does the king shit, and be like, oh, and be like,
yeah. Yeah, Undertaker I think would probably start bagging up a little bit. But now what cracked me up was fucking
I'm like,
what's it called? Watch it. Kino is watching the was watching him yeah, like you said with Brock Lesnar. He's just like he said, that's why I'm gonna take you on, Paul Heyman. And it's just like it's just so fucking funny because Paul's like, what? And then Brock's just like, Kino, shh, stop, boy. But he
but yeah, nah,
but
that
we are getting down to this hour. And,
Sure.
you know, about a minute left. This was a fun ass this episode, just being able to just
Anything.
talk about wrestling again, man. Getting back into this.
WrestleMania is on
We're definitely
April 19th, April 20th. We're gonna try to have a our predictions on who we think is gonna win.
yeah.
And but do you want to take us away, my fellow co-host?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say was like, yeah, I mean I would have tried to watch live, but I don't work Sunday, so I could watch it live Sunday, but Saturday I work. But if anything you guys like see that could also be a thing of us literally watching it live. And
Have our reactions just
yeah, our reactions live for like Sunday. Saturday you could just like I don't know. That I couldn't do it because I work. But um be sure though, this episode will be just on YouTube, but starting probably with the next episode, everything will be back on the other platforms and all stuff like that, just to kind of get us back into the mix of things. The Be sure to, if you're watching us on YouTube, to like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell. Like I said, we're gonna have more than just a podcast on this YouTube channel. And also, if you're listening to us on those platforms that you follow, and you just stay prepared for the episodes. And yeah, so like I said, we have a lot of stuff planned. So that's that. This was fun to get back into this. House is busy. Apologize for some of the bit of distractions. I can't help it. I really can't. Until I get my own place. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
well, it's been your boy Hollywood, and it's been also the other. What the fuck? I'm sorry, I'm reading a text message also. I'm just like it's some bullshit. But hope you guys, we'll catch you guys on the next time. Hope you, peace.